I think we spent maybe $20 and both had so much food we didn't have to eat until supper. Like
$20 at Disney World is free, so
nothing I've ever eaten there has ever tasted bad.
I mean, some of their appetizers are bullshit. I'm gonna throw that out there. I love it.
I stand corrected. I apologize.
Some of their appetizers suck. So.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Knotcast, presented by NotClub33.com. We're sticking with the underrated theme here this week. Today we're doing underrated places to eat at the Walt Disney World campus. My name is Steve Rhodes. I've got Pat Neistat with me today.
What's up?
Becky Wells is here.
Hi.
And so is Bobby Berkshire, the Disney Cynic.
When the pimp's in the crib, man, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. When the pigs try to get you, park it like it's hot. Park it like it's hot. Park it like it's hot. And I'm not finishing the rest of that. No, that's I'm smart.
If I were to choose a song from that particular rapper, may not have been that one, but good job.
Drop it like it's
Next
hot.
time you should open with yours.
Yeah,
maybe you sing for once.
I think Pat's going to throw it back to Doggy Style if he was going to be doing a Snoop Dogg song. Am I right with that, Pat?
Yes.
The Doggy Style album? Yeah.
Yeah. One of the best rap albums of all time. So.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So there's your 90s hip-hop intro from Bobby, as you usually see here on the show. We'll get into our topic, though. Today, underrated places to eat at Walt Disney World. These could be places that just get slept on because people don't know about them, places that are cheap, places, whatever, just places that are, generally speaking, underrated. We're going to start today with Mrs. Becky Wells. Becky, what do you got for us?
Oddly enough, this is at the Riviera Resort. And
this is highfalutin.
I know. We hopped over there on the Skyliner from the boardwalk to grab breakfast, and we did our online order before we got there while we were on the Skyliner, and it was for Primo Piatto at the Riviera. It's a little quick service. They have breakfast. I know they have lunch. I think they probably have dinner. But we did breakfast, and it was like super reasonable, especially for being at the Riviera where everybody needs their pinky up in the air. But the food was really good. Like, I was impressed and I don't care about breakfast food generally speaking, but I had like lemon blueberry pancakes with lemon ricotta or something like that. Amazing. I think we spent maybe $20 and both had so much food we didn't have to eat until supper. Like,
that's great.
It was great.
There's a theme at the Riviera for food, because the lunch at that place is really good, and then the restaurant upstairs is really good too. So
it's not underrated though.
No, that's not underrated.
The one upstairs is not underrated. Topolino's,
Bobby.
Yeah, so Primo Piatto.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
good choice.
$20 at Disney World is free, so if you've never been to Disney World before, which I'm sure you have watching the show, but you know that is dirt cheap for two people to eat. So
yeah, it included coffee and a drink. Like, we had all the things we wanted in that price. Like,
that's a win.
It was awesome. Yes, I agree.
Bobby, what do you got for us?
So I got two. One that's gonna more break your bank than the other. Starting on the, I guess, lower cost side of things, Big River Grill over at the boardwalk. It's severely underrated. For one thing, it's got an in-house, I guess you could call it, brewery. So all the beers are made there, and that makes it at least an interesting flavor if you're a beer guy. Plus, nothing I've ever eaten there has ever tasted bad.
Some of their appetizers are bullshit. I'm gonna throw that out there. I love it.
I stand corrected. I apologize.
Some of their appetizers suck. So, like the beer, like the burger.
Let me rephrase. No entree that I've had there has tasted bad. Which one do you want to fuck up for me this time, Becky? Jesus,
I don't think I've ever had an appetizer there, so...
Yeah, neither have I.
That was my first mistake, so...
Yeah, there you go, apparently. But the other one...
Bobby did an episode of on his podcast where he reviews Big River Grill. I believe I'm on that.
You
that
are on
episode,
that
so
one, yes.
check it out. Check it out. His podcast and the link in the description. What's your other one, Bobby?
Yachtsman Steakhouse. And
Okay.
the reason why I say that is because it's one of those that you can actually get a pretty good reservation, even like a month away or so. So there's still plenty of availability that's out there. But it's also the only place that that's on property where they dry age the meats, and they actually display all the cuts out in a dry aging room out in the front. So you can basically walk in and say, "I want that one," and that one will go to your plate. That's pretty much how it can work there.
That's cool.
For a couple people, wife and I have done dinner there twice now. Thank you, Valentine's Day. And honestly, like both times, less than $200, which is great for a steakhouse price. So all
Sure,
the sides
especially at
are
Disney,
good. All the sides are great. They have a pretty wide selection of wines that compare to pretty much any cut of meat that they have. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit more upscale, maybe a nice night out, no, with your husband or your wife, definitely check out Yachtsman, because it's definitely going to be more available than California Grill or any of the other top places that's out there.
Yep.
And right next door, Cruise Cup, friend of the show, Derek DeBoer's favorite little hole-in-the-wall bar there next door. So,
Happy to see him.
Pat, where are you going?
So I'm going to Wilderness Lodge, and I'm going to Whispering Canyon, and I'm talking about the skillets at Whispering Canyon. If you haven't had them, they're $35, which is for an all-you-can-eat meal at Walt Disney World is pretty cheap. And for dinner, $35 is really cheap. And the barbecue is actually pretty good. I mean, they have unlimited brisket, salmon, ribs, you name it, they got it. Now, the only thing I had bad there was the corn. Some of the vegetables weren't that great, but all the meat was great. So
something remains lacking with this service and the whole having to do child labor for ketchup thing. I don't know. It's just me.
I don't know. I find it fun. My kids found it fun. They throw straws at them. They bring them a small glass. They bring them a giant glass.
I suppose it would be more fun if I was, 7.
Yeah, you just kind of
Well,
you
if you
have to
have
know.
kids. Yeah.
You have to know what you're getting into when you go to that place. I mean, that's their thing. So.
Shtick.
So, but I would also say that Toledo over at Coronado is underrated. I don't think there's a lot of people talking about it, but they have really good food and it's reasonably priced compared to like
Off the beaten
higher
path,
end
but
restaurants.
definitely, yeah.
And you got great views of Epcot. So,
Pat's not only done a 3-minute dining review, he's also done a 57-minute dining review with me, totaling an hour's worth of reviews of that restaurant. So
that's a lot for me.
Podcast link below for Bobby's show for that full detailed review, and you see the card there on the screen for the 3-minute dining review for Toledo. My place is some place that used to get bad mouth. Now it's just kind of doesn't get talked about at all anymore by the Disney fan community, and it's not a place most people would even think to go, but you can get a reservation while you're in Epcot. If you're hungry and you want a sit-down meal and you're on the World Showcase side, you can pretty much get a reservation same day, and I'm talking about 9 Dragons at the China Pavilion. The food there is actually really good. My favorite is the salt and pepper shrimp. It comes over a bed of spaghetti noodles, so these green noodles with the salt and pepper shrimp. It's got a little bit of heat to it. It's just so well balanced in flavor. Combine that with a little beer. It's just like, oh man, it's so good. Now it's expensive for Chinese food, but they do a damn good job. The service is great. I love the atmosphere, and you can pretty much just walk right in there and get a meal if you're ready to sit down, get out of the heat. In Epcot, good place to sneak away into. So
I just always feel a little bit hungry afterwards. Still, I don't know.
You just got to order the right thing. You got to get enough carbs in there to match in with just the protein.
Extra side of rice.
But I love that place.
I have an honorable mention also at Epcot that is newer and people don't seem to give it much credence. I loved it. The Le Crêperie de Paris. It's the new crepe place over by Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. And they do have an outside walk-up window. Do not recommend messing with that. because there's always day of reservations, always. The problem is people. They told me when we were there, they must have gotten a couple of crazy reviews when they first opened and like didn't quite have everything going yet. But it was amazing and very inexpensive. Like they have a fixed price menu that I think we had 2 different crepes. We had salad and a soup, and one was a dessert crepe, one was a savory crepe. We had cappuccinos, we had wine, we had all. I mean, I think we spent like maybe $40. Like it was.
Where are you? You're just finding all the.
This is what I'm saying.
Like,
$40
I need a
for
tour
2
with
people?
you.
I mean, it was really, really good. It tasted very authentic, which maybe that's also part of people's reviews being off, because I find that a lot especially at these nicer restaurants and things at Disney World is it is authentic food, and people
are used to the
thinking it's Americanized. Yeah, and it's not. So if you've ever actually been to any of these places, a real location, then having that, it's like, that'll take you back. And it really does. And it sounds silly, but it's true. So, like, as much as I don't love Riviera, I've now given, like, thumbs up to 2 of their restaurants.
Sounds like she
for
likes
that
it.
reason. And for, as much as I actually don't love going to actual Paris, this restaurant was amazing food that
Is that a table service or is it?
They have a table service inside. Both? Yeah, you can do the walk-up window, and then it's just a la carte menu.
So if you do the walk-up window, do they have seats for you, or do you have to eat on a trash can?
Probably
on a trash can.
I don't think there's no little tables over by there, because it's right before that new fountain by the entrance to Remy's. So you'd have to like kind of take it back out a little bit of that new area.
That's a clusterfuck of an area too. So
it is,
especially like inside, during any one of the festivals. So like every week, like 2 weeks a year, like it's always occupied by something.
At any given walk-up window on the World Showcase, at any given time, there could be a 400-person line, just because once there's more than 10 people in it, people are like, whoa, what's that? And then they get in the line, and it just can
and we walked up, and we were like, we didn't keep our reservation for it. We had dropped it, because we're like, you can get a reservation that same day. There's no reason to rope ourselves into a time.
Yeah.
But when we walked over there, I was like, well, maybe we'll do the window. And I'm like, I'm not waiting in that. Let's just go in and see if they'll seat us. And like, technically, you need a reservation. We're like, got it. So it was, but it was so good. I couldn't believe that it wasn't packed in there.
Really?
And
see, I kind of felt like nobody could shut up about the crepes for like 2 weeks. And then to your point though, nobody's talked about it since. Like, I guess since Remy's open, really.
Yeah.
Like, that's
where they were doing the walk-up window.
It big.
Yeah.
But they were doing the walk-up window.
Maybe. Yeah, I really liked it. It was on point for what it was supposed to be. It was exactly what it was supposed to be. So.
Good deal. Good options there for underrated places that you can either get into quickly or get in and out of with a cheap price that people just aren't talking about at Walt Disney World. Do you have a secret gem, a little hidden gem that you like to hit up when you're at the parks? Let us know down in those comments. Smack the like button. That lets YouTube's algorithm know that this was a good show, and it will show to more people. Also, think about subscribing. It really does help the channel out. And catch us again on another Notcast next week, Friday, 4 p.m. Magic Kingdom time. If you smack that bell icon, that'll let you know when we upload another video. We'll see you guys next week on the Notcast. Thanks from everybody here at Knot Club 33.